Welcome back to another episode of Chillin' with Van Dillon. Today I've got the internet's weatherman, Ryan Hall of Ryan Hall, y'all. I know you know who he is, Ryan Hall, y'all. It's right there on the YouTube all the time. Ryan, thanks for joining me, buddy. I appreciate it. What's good?
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here and to chill and talk weather. This sounds like a great time.
Yeah, listen, you're just like me. You were obsessed with weather as a little kid. What gave you that obsession living in Kentucky?
You know, I don't know. I always tell everyone that I was bit by the bug, I guess. I don't really remember the exact moment, but I do remember having a realization when I was in school that I was the only one as obsessed with the clouds as I am. I was like, wait, you guys don't care about this as much and as intensely as I do? And yeah, I guess, you know, being from East Kentucky, the weather is pretty impactful over here. We don't get a lot of tornadoes, but man, if it snows like a half an inch, school gets called out. So as a kid, that, you know, that's a reinforcing thing. And of course, the flash floods over here are crazy. So
yeah, that's another thing. So I'm thinking, as a kid growing up, what pictures did you have on your wall? For instance, I had NHL, NFL, and tornadoes on my wall. What did you have?
Pretty much the same thing. I had, you know, Doppler radar imagery and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I saw a picture of your 5-year-old cake, too. I had Star Wars. What did you have on your birthday cake as a 5-year-old?
It was a radar imagery, like a perfect reflectivity version of a supercell. So, yeah.
Did it have all the colors and the hook echo and had the RFD and everything going?
Oh, yeah. I had to make sure it was at least over 60 dBz and the whole thing had a hail core and everything.
That is beautiful. So as a young kid, you knew you were into weather perfectly. How did you get that obsession going into the latter part of your teens? You end up going to college for a degree?
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I actually made a weather website. Once again, I've always been obsessed with weather. Don't really know why, but I made a website that actually used the National Weather Service and the Weather Prediction Center's data to create a forecast for whether or not school would be closed the next day due to winter weather. And it got huge. Like, it was a big deal in Eastern Kentucky because of how much snow we were getting and stuff. But yeah, that kind of propelled me forward. I wanted to be a weather person. I did go to Mississippi State University and took some classes there in meteorology while also working for my local news station, WYMT, in the weather room. But I actually realized during that time that that wasn't the right career path for me. I didn't want to go the TV route. So from there to where we are now, I say that I took the non-traditional route to becoming a digital meteorologist.
Yeah, you're one of the first pioneers. I mean, there's no question. And you're right. You didn't do the TV route, but how did you get comfortable on the air? Yeah, I know you're not technically on the air, but you still kind of are. How did you come up with your skills?
Well, you know, in the same way that I grew up watching the Weather Channel instead of Disney Channel, when I got a little bit older, any other sort of entertainment that I got came from streamers and YouTube, right? So I also always wanted to be a YouTuber, and it just kind of worked out that these two things came together. So I don't know where it came from. I didn't practice or anything. It's just like I've got stuff I want to say about the weather, and this is how I choose to do it.
Well, first of all, it's a perfect name. How did you come up with a name? I mean, I know Kentucky's in the South, but it rolls off the tongue.
Well, some people say I got a little bit of an accent because I'm over here in, you know, Eastern Kentucky.
A little bit.
So whenever I started making videos about the weather, I was like, let's just go ahead and put it in my name. That way, before people click, they know what they're getting into.
It's brilliant. I mean, Ryan Hall, y'all, you can't beat that. So when did you start the website, and when did it really start gaining some traction?
So the school closure probability website, I made that when I was a freshman in high school.
That's awesome. What a great idea. I love that.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I felt like a rock star walking into school whenever there was supposed to be snow.
Oh, there he is. The kid that's not going to have school for us tomorrow. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And even the teachers and the administration, they'd pulled me aside. It's like, hey, is this looking real? Is this looking like we're going to have school tomorrow? So, you know, it was pretty cool. But you know, the YouTube thing really didn't get going until several years later. I think that the world just wasn't ready for it yet until right whenever my channel started to get a lot of motion. So,
yeah. Do you think it was the pandemic had anything to do with it too? People are home, they're kind of searching around a little more.
I do. Yeah, I think that opened people up to this format more. And that's when I really started doubling down on creating the content too. So I definitely think that had something to do with it.
I'm trying to pick, what was the first storm, would you say, that put you right on the map?
Definitely the Mayfield, Kentucky tornado. We were live all night for that one, and it was just incredible. The amount of emails and letters and stuff that I got from people after that, talking about how impactful our coverage was and how a lot of people attributed their lives being saved to us talking about that on YouTube. And that's when I really started taking this seriously, because before that, it was a hobby. I was just talking to weather nerds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was at that moment I was like, this is like, people are depending on this. So we started taking it a lot more seriously.
What year was that, Ryan? I'm trying to remember which one the Mayfield one was.
2021.
2021. Yeah. So you're still right there in the heart of the pandemic. I mean, people are watching. Yeah. I hate to say it was perfect timing, but that storm actually was, because then it snowballed from there. Now you're talking about hurricane coverage and things like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually our number one way of communicating with people. Weather coverage is no longer one way, right? It's a back and forth. It's two ways. It's very interactive, and people always want us to go live for every rain shower in every state. People are mad at me if I'm not live for it. So.
Well, yeah, let's take it through a typical production day. How many forecasts do you typically put out? Let's say there's no blockbuster storm out there. It's a average type of week. Take me through the production process for you.
Well, I try to back off and leave people alone whenever the weather's going to be nice, right? I always say, if your weather app can tell you what the weather's going to be like, sunny and 75, you don't need me.
Yeah.
But as soon as there's a signal, even if it's 7 days out, for something more significant, we start making content about it. We'll start making TikToks, YouTube shorts, YouTube videos. And then as we get really close to the event, that's when we start actually doing the live streams, whenever we switch to nowcasting instead of forecasting. And that pipeline has worked really well for us.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm trying to think, like, when you have those stills that pop up on the YouTube that draw people there, who makes that content? Is that purely your call?
Yeah, it's actually a team of people. We've got meteorologist Andy Hill, who provides a lot of input there. We're trying to toe the line between social media best practices and non-hyperbole weather communication, right?
Yeah.
And that's actually really hard because YouTube rewards hyperbole.
Right.
So we're trying to find that middle line, and it takes a lot of experts to kind of figure out what works and what doesn't.
It's pretty amazing, because it's been like that ever since I was in TV for 30 years. Are you hyping a storm up, or are you just trying to get viewers?
Right.
It's the same thing now. It's more intense because you have so many viewers that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I could do is just double down and try to get more views, right? Because right now that's like the only metric that we have that tells us whether or not we're doing a good job.
Right.
But I do want to kind of make sure that we're not getting too far away with the hype thing, because at the end of the day, the goal is to get life-saving weather information out there and to have people trust us. And that's why we've got to kind of fight back against the algorithms and try to see what works that's not over the line.
The other thing that I'm intrigued with, and I'm proud of you about this one too, it's your charity that you do in post-storms. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so the Mayfield tornado actually was what sparked this. We had so much attention on us during that storm, and after that storm, people were sending donations to me and like wanting to buy my merch because, of this tornado, and that just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
So what we've done now is whenever we have that attention on us during a very devastating time for a community, we turn all that attention into dollars, and we point it back towards the community. So we open up the y'allsquad.org whenever we're live for tornadoes, and we try to raise money. We've been able to raise $100,000, $150,000 per event during some of the big events, and we immediately deploy it right to the communities.
And let's talk about something you just dropped there recently. You've got a new service that you just developed that dropped just a couple days ago.
Yeah, you're talking about Y'all Call.
Y'all Call, yes. Again, rolls off the tongue, man. You got that down.
That was actually a service that was asked for by my audience. So we go live, and once again, it's a two-way communication channel, right? So I'm constantly reading chat, And a bunch of people were asking, was like, hey, can you just like call me whenever you're live or whenever there's a tornado warning? So I was like, you know what, we could probably figure that out. So we actually did. We got a good team of people together, and we've got a really nice service called Y'all Call. It's $20 a year, and it calls you, and it's my voice whenever you're under a tornado warning or a flash flood warning or anything like that.
Ah, that's amazing. Ryan Hall, I appreciate you taking time out and chilling with me this afternoon. It's great to finally talk to you, meet you. Hope to talk to you again sometime.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you so much. Anytime.
Ryan Hall, y'all, everybody. Great to see you, my friend.